has never been a more important time to move in a vegan direction. Whether you're ready to start, restart, or re-energize your vegan or plant-based practice, this podcast is for you. I'm Michelle Olander, life coach, vegan, ADHD matriarch, travel lover, and smoothie loather. And I know that it's the details that get in the way of your vegan journey. But I like to believe that the obstacle is always the way. So every week we meet here where I translate the tools of life coaching and Stoic philosophy. I bring you actionable tips, some laughs, interesting guests, and vegan ideas for everyone at any age. All to help you veg your best. Episode 286, Singletasking Your Vegan Life. Hi kids, it's Michelle. And what is the law, the rule of thumb law, that work fills up whatever time you've got for it? All of the time allotted for it. It has a name, right? It's a person's surname. I know you're yelling it at me right now. Anyway, work fills up whatever time you have allotted for it. That is exactly what's happened today. I told our podcast editor, Charlie Weinshank, who I thank in every episode, I told him I would get him this episode today. And today, well, that's not exactly specific, is it? Today, it is now about 7. I don't know. Is it 7? I think it was 7 when I stopped looking at the clock. It's about 7 p.m. And about 20 minutes ago, Charlie texted me because, I don't know, apparently he's looking for something a tiny bit more specific than today. Apparently he has a life. So anyway, I'm going to finish this podcast now. I've got these notes in front of me and I'm just going to do it, okay? We're going to do it. We're going to do it live. So we're in the final week of February when this episode goes live, February 24th. And that means a good chunk of the year is over, kids. We waited and waited to get to January. And now I think, what does that mean? 2 months? Is that 1/6 of 2026 is basically over? I don't know. So anyway, one of the distractions for me this week is I am prepping for 2 interviews this week, and I've been doing that thing that we all know. We all know. This is not a surprise what I'm going to say, right? It's been proven again and again and again that multitasking doesn't work. It doesn't. But if you are me, it's all multitasking, always all multitasking until right up until the minute that it isn't. And that is when single tasking starts. And that's where we are right now. We are single tasking. Charlie's text to me initiated the single tasking. And now I'm looking here at my notes and my emails and my client coaching questions that I pulled together to probably talk about this week on the episode. And now we're single tasking. And if history serves, because, there is some history now. We're 5 years into consecutive weekly episodes. This won't take even all that long now that I'm single tasking. So that's the subject today. Multitasking, single tasking, and why would this even matter if you're on a vegan or a plant-based journey? Well, it matters anytime you're trying to do anything, because how you go vegan, right? It's how you do everything. So if you're trying to practice a new way of life or a new way of being in the world or new skills, all the ideas and arrangements and plans, they will all fill the time you have for it. Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is the name of that observation, that work fills the time allotted to it. And, when we say multitasking, it sounds very pedestrian, like you're just doing laundry while talking on the phone, or answering an email while eating lunch, or waiting for the coffee to brew. But the kind of multitasking that really derails people, especially in a vegan transition, is different, because it's very often an identity multitasking. You're trying to be the person who eats plant-based, but you're also being the person who doesn't bother anybody, never inconveniences anyone, never needs to know all the ingredients or to plan ahead. You're trying not to be the person that gets judged or made fun of, or somebody who's never going to have cravings for something and never messes up. You can make the best plan in the world, but if there are that many rules, it's a circus act. It's not really a sustainable food plan. And if you've got so many things going on that still aren't dialed in for you, are you nodding right now? Because this isn't just with going vegan or plant-based, right? This is any time we're trying to learn or conquer something new. It's normal. It is normal that we see ourselves in one area, but we haven't dialed in all the different moving parts. And if you are, where are you? Where are you, my conflict avoidant introverts? Where are you, my small s stoics? If you're one of us and you're trying to make a big change, we're trying to do it in a way where almost nobody actually notices we're doing anything different. And that's the kind of multitasking that I'm kind of talking about today. It's the kind of multitasking I see in my clients all the time. The multitasking versus single tasking vegan edition at home. So let's do a simple distinction. Of course, some tasks are probably okay to multitask. You can listen to a podcast while you go for a walk. You can, or maybe while you're driving, or you can chop vegetables while you chat with your spouse or your kids, and you can do a grocery order while you're waiting to pick the kids up at the school. Fine. But there are other tasks you really can't multitask without paying for it later in a way. In a plant-based transition, there are tasks that really do require your presence. There are tasks that kind of require you to show up with a little extra courage that maybe in a way you haven't done before. And there are also tasks where your brain would really love to play squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Go over there, go do something else. This is a little bit uncomfortable. Let's do something else. Sometimes it's ordering at a restaurant where you feel awkward. I'll tell you one thing that's going on for me this week. I've been invited to a fundraiser dinner at a little golf club, and I'm a guest, and I don't want to bring the whole table to a halt with dinner. And they invited me last year, and they made a very nice vegan dinner. And I have been calling and emailing the people at this club, pretty frequently, and I haven't gotten any word back from them. And so now I'm just going to be like, okay, well, I did my best. I'm going to expect a vegan meal tomorrow, or I'm just going to sit there and eat the salad. But anyway, it's been uncomfortable ordering and asking for things. It's not my interest to chase people down to ask them to make me a vegan meal. But they take a little bit of extra presence and, for want of a better word, courage. You have to maybe sometimes plan what you're going to eat and not be quite as spontaneous as you've always been or you've always kind of wanted to be. Sometimes you have to navigate family dinners and traveling and asking if a recipe can be tweaked a little bit by a family member or a friend or a chef. So those moments are not when you can have metaphorically 5, 10, 15 open tabs on your browser, right? You know what I'm talking about when you just keep moving from one idea to another on your computer, and now the top of your computer is all the open tabs of all the things you've been looking up. So we will often think, oh, this is hard for me. I don't have the discipline. I don't have the willpower. But very often, I think we just need fewer open tabs. So many people aren't struggling because they lack any discipline. They're struggling because they're trying to run 7 goals at once. You want to be plant-based, but you don't want to cook, or you don't want it to cost more, or you need enough protein, and you don't want processed foods, and you don't want your spouse to be complaining, and the kids need some gluten-free options, and you don't want to be annoying in public. None of this is a personal flaw. It just means you've got too many open tabs. So now we kind of are thinking about what multitasking looks like on a vegan journey, but what is single tasking? And I don't mean that single tasking is dramatic and you throw everything away and you can only sweep into the room and talk about one thing. But what is the next right thing? And instead of making it a problem that there still are going to be other issues, what is the one thing that if you got a little better at or even solved today, your entire vegan life today would feel better? So what would it be this week? Maybe you're going to lock in a vegan breakfast, or you've got a vegan breakfast, but maybe you want it to have more grams of protein in it, or maybe you need more fiber in it, or maybe you are still taking vitamins that you've had for a while, and those haven't been kind of upgraded to a potentially a vegan vitamin. Whatever it is, maybe you're going to lock in one thing first thing in the morning. Or maybe you'll single task on looking for 2 or 3 restaurant orders that you could always get at the restaurants or pizza places or fast casual restaurants that tend to show up in your typical lifestyle. Or, this is always an important one for me, I need to have a plan for the evening before 4 p.m. So the plan for after 4 p.m., I would like to have before 4 p.m. instead of flying by the seat of my pants. Now, I never have problems at this point making it vegan, but very often I just don't have a plan, and it's extra stress that nobody needs. So when you single task, you get a chance to build some trust with yourself. You get to start stacking evidence like, oh yeah, I can do what I say I do. Oh yeah, I can handle the awkwardness. You know what? I was dreading doing it and it worked out. It's fine. Oh, I found 3 ways it didn't work, but now that 4th way does. I can plan ahead. And you know what? It can all wobble or fall down, and I can keep going. So those are not examples of any kind of willpower or discipline. It's just reframing your identity in a way that reinforces that you can handle all of this. Now, here's the part that kind of came together when I decided to sit down and single task and get our episode out today. A coach, a friend, a colleague could be your Charlie, your instigator in getting to single tasking. You know, Charlie texted me today, and it was so simple. He didn't give me a TED Talk. He didn't motivate me. He didn't try to figure out what was going on with me. He didn't shame me. He just asked, any chance you can tell me when the episode might be ready? And in that moment, Charlie's not just my editor, he's my coach, right? And this is what coaching really is at its best. A coach could be your Charlie, could be the person who helps you cut through the clutter and single task and choose what is next on your enormous to-do list. We all have enormous to-do lists. But Charlie reminded me, oh yeah, that one actually needed to be done. But whoever it is, somebody could help you stop the spinning in your head, stop collecting the ideas, stop researching. I can keep going on, trying to find out more things that might make this episode a little bit more valuable or fun or interesting. But instead, what you really need is to stop trying to figure out the whole thing and choose the one next move that actually matters. Because we don't need, most of us, right? Nobody listening here, none of us needs more information. We need a decision. We need to say, okay, what are we doing? What's the plan? When's it going to be? Okay, so a coach, your friends, your colleagues, your accountability people, they're not there to make you perfect or figure anything out. They're there just to help you close some of those open tabs. Because we don't need more willpower. Most of us just need fewer open tabs. Okay, so how do we single task your plant-based journey? Let's make this practical. If your brain's saying, okay, Michelle, fine, but what do I single task? Here are 4 great options. You could pick one. Single task a meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a snack, a family meal that you get together with people at a restaurant or at somebody's house. Concentrate, single task on how you're going to make that more efficient, more fun, more comfortable, better, more nutritious, whatever it is. Single task, one meal. Option 2, single task one of those sentences that you say in public when you have to ask for help, ask for a vegan option, ask for more time, whatever it is. If you have to ask for the ingredients or ask for the waitress to go double check because it didn't sound quite right what she explained to you. Practice it out loud like a human being until it comes out faster. Option 3, single task your 4 p.m. danger zone or your 10 p.m. danger zone when you tend to get hungry or things are chaotic or you're cranky. Single task that moment and pick that kind of snack. Maybe it's edamame or hummus or fruit and soy or peanut butter and apples. That's mine. Whether it's leftovers, have something that you think about that makes it feel like you are having something with no deprivation. You're having something that you're enjoying, that's exactly what you want, and it's decided ahead of time, and there's no deprivation there. And option 4, single task some travel or social situation that keeps knocking you off track. Think about, brainstorm, are they restaurants or families or situations or vacations or work lunches or traveling with your office? Build a simple plan for one context, not your whole diet, not the whole weekly protein intake, just one context, because the magic in all of this is not figuring it all out. It's fewer open tabs. You do not have to fix all the different permutations of life today. Choose one. So here's your listener challenge. My Veg Your Bestie, for the next 7 days, until our next podcast, when we meet here, choose one thing to single task. What are some tabs you can just close? Parkinson's law, okay? That's the law I couldn't remember at the top of the episode. Parkinson's law says the work will take all the time you allot to it. And it's not just work, it's everything. It's your whole life. And if you don't choose on purpose, your calendar and the people around you and the rest of the world are going to choose for you. So close some tabs and single task. What single task would make something a little bit easier? What single task, once it's done, we could just move on? And if you're someone who likes support, if you're someone who benefits from that outside nudge, let a Charlie help you. And that could be a coach. That could be someone who texts you. That could be a friend or a workmate. It could be a standing check-in from a colleague. It can be a reminder on your phone, but do not underestimate the power of that ping when it goes off and it brings you back into focus. Because for most of us, this is not about getting better at anything or being stronger. It's just about being simpler. Not more willpower, fewer open tabs, my Veg Your Besties. Whether you're on your vegan journey or on any other marvelous journey that you're on, single tasking. Just think about whether you could be single tasking this week and let me know how that helps you veg your best. Veg Your Best podcast production, music, and editing by Charlie Weinshank. Thanks, Charlie. Before you go, it would mean so much to me and the Veg Your Best team if you would hit subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, or share with someone you think might be interested. Something about algorithms, it helps bump us up a little in the rankings, and that's the best way to help others find the podcast and for us to find our audience. So, until next week, make it easy and veg your best.